Hi everyone, today we're talking about the earnings for next week. I've been doing this, covering the earnings through Q3 for like the last couple of weeks, and whenever I've done the videos talk about the upcoming earnings for the week ahead, it's been really popular and I've got good feedback from it, so I thought I'd carry on this week. Also this week's quite another good week of earnings as well. Some big names still reporting their earnings this week, and then probably after this week it'll start cooling down a little bit more. But there's still some good earnings, like I say, coming up. On Monday, there's not really too many massive companies that I'm interested about that are reporting earnings. So for me, going through Monday, looking through these names on this calendar right here, there's not too many that I'm going to be watching closely at all. Tuesday gets a little bit interesting. MasterCard is a company that I watch quite a bit. I'm interested to see how MasterCard do before they open. BP is always one that I keep a little close eye on. Under Armour tends to move quite a bit on their earnings, good or bad. So I'll be watching that from like a spectacle point of view to see what happens. Coca-Cola company, I was going to actually make a video about Coca-Cola this week, but I'm talking about that much earnings that I didn't have time to record it, so maybe it's one I'll talk about in like a week or two's time. Just talk about Coca-Cola actually. So yeah, their earnings probably be pretty safe. You probably won't see a massive beat on them. Sony is one that I watch quite closely actually, so that'll be interesting. After the close, we've got a big one of Facebook. I think this is like one of Facebook's biggest ever earnings. It'll be down to see if Facebook is struggling to keep that daily active user number up. If it comes out with another bad earnings of missing the daily active users, then it probably get hit quite a lot. But I'm pretty confident that the EPS and revenue will be a beat on Facebook. It's just the question on that daily active users. IQIY, that is a company that's been hit massive by the trade war. But really good growth. I looked into that company not too long ago, and I was really surprised by how good that growth is. Baidu, another stock that's been hit by the trade war. This week there's a lot of more Chinese companies reporting earnings, which will be interesting to see how they're all reacting because of the trade war. eBay has been killed on a lot of bad earnings reports, so we'll see what they do. EA has had an awful year, the worst year for a long time. So be interested to see what they pull out. I'm not really sure to what to expect from eBay, if I'm honest right now. GM, General Motors, before they open, we'll probably see something about how they're trying to keep afloat at the moment. Them and Ford are just getting absolutely slaughtered. But I'll keep an eye on that one. After the close, there's not too many ones there that I'm particularly interested in. There before they open, Spotify, I keep a little eye on them, but I don't think I'll ever invest in them. After the close is the big one, which we've got Apple. Bit interesting to see what happens with Apple. I reckon more than likely that'll be a strong beat. That's what I'm feeling. Starbucks is one that's got killed recently on their earnings. Arista is one that I talk about quite a bit, one that I watch quite closely. That'll be interesting to see what happens with Arista Networks. I like Arista, GoPro. And then Friday, I'm looking forward to Friday. I'm looking forward to that open of Alibaba earnings. I'm looking forward to see what happens there. It is the one that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Facebook, but I'm looking forward to Alibaba as well. Be interested to see what happens with the China trade war with that one. In my opinion, obviously it's a guess. Earnings is just guessing really, but I reckon Alibaba will be earnings, and I reckon the stock will jump up. I don't think the China trade war will affect it that much, but we'll see. We'll see. It's a big day for Alibaba. Maybe if a good earnings happens, it kind of stops this downtrend that's been happening recently with Alibaba. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Alibaba earnings. Like I say, some really good earnings coming up next week. Let me know any earnings that you're really interested in. Give the video a like, guys, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.